All right, let's rock and roll. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over exactly what I would do if I had to lose 50 pounds in the next 6 months. Now, let me clarify a couple things here. This is not for, I'm not talking about if you're like 20 years old, 19 years old. I'm talking about if you're a grown man with kids, with a family, you got stuff to do, but you still wanna lose the weight. I preface that because if you're 20 years old, 21 years old, you have all the time in the world to do whatever you need. So the logistics just look different. I chose 50 pounds because 50 pounds in 6 months, it's a realistic number that any man can do if he really decides to do it. So let's jump right into it. But actually, before we do, let me first of all tell you why you might want to listen to me. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of different men of all different shapes and sizes that wanted to lose weight. That's my specialty, and that's what I love to do. I've worked with men that had to lose over 300 pounds. I've worked with men just trying to lose the last 5-6 pounds and everything in between. But this video is specifically about if you're a man looking to lose 50 pounds in the next 6 months, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I would do to lose it as fast as possible, without exception, no excuses, it's gonna happen. All right, so the very first thing that I would do, I would eliminate all temptation. So when I say eliminate all temptation, I would go through my pantry and I would get rid of anything that's not in alignment with where I'm looking to go, which is to lose 50 pounds. That means I would throw things away. I don't care if I just bought them. I don't care if I'm telling myself they're there for the kids. They're getting thrown away if they're in that pantry. I would also go through and I would stop hanging out with the people I was hanging out with. So for instance, let's say, on Sundays I went and I hung with the boys. I'm not hanging with the boys because when I go hang with the boys, you're drinking beer, you're eating wings. I would eliminate any temptation. And I say that so it doesn't mean you have to eliminate this for the long haul, but at the beginning you're relying a lot, or most people do, on willpower. And you just don't have that willpower yet. So I'm eliminating any sort of temptation that's around me. I'm not going to parties. If it's around the holiday times, I'm just not going to the Christmas dinners that my job's having. I'm not going to the birthday parties. I'm just not going to put myself in situations that's going to allow me to mess up. Like, I'm going to eliminate as much temptation as I possibly can. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a gym that's close to my house. I don't care what the gym is. I'm finding the closest gym to my house because I want to eliminate or cut down on the friction. If I have to drive 30 minutes to go to the gym, there's going to be a day that I'm coming home from work, or that I had a hard day, or I don't feel like working out. I'm going to use the excuse, oh, the gym is 30 minutes away, I don't have time for that, or whatever other dumb excuse. So I'm cutting down on the amount of friction. I'm also getting a gym membership that I know fits in my budget, right? That I'm comfortable paying, because I'm not going to let an excuse be, oh, well, I can't afford the gym membership. No, I'm finding a gym that's closest to my house, that's in my budget, so I'm cutting down on any friction that I might have. Number 3. I'm gonna download some sort of app or figure out some sort of way to track the amount of calories that I'm eating. You have to track what you put in your body. This is probably the biggest step out of everything. I say download an app because there's so many good free apps out there that you can download that not only will they tell you and will allow you to track your food, they'll at least give you some sort of generic meal plan or some sort of guidance as far as where you need to stay in between. Because for the most part, if I didn't know anything about nutrition, which obviously if I was 50 pounds overweight, like my knowledge on what to eat, it's just not there. Which, to be honest, for most people, it's no fault of their own. They don't teach you how to eat in school. Most people's parents didn't teach them how to eat. They probably actually taught them very bad habits. You didn't learn them in college. So where are you supposed to learn these things? So it's not really nobody's fault that you don't know these things, but it is your obligation to learn these things if you want to lose the weight, especially if we're talking about losing 50 pounds in 6 months, which is completely doable as long as you're doing the right things. There's tons of different apps. I like to use MyFitnessPal. It's simple. It's easy, it's convenient. They have a whole list of different things. You don't have to use the paid for version. The free version works just fine. But I'm finding some way to track my food, and I'm tracking everything I eat or drink, and I'm making sure it stays under the amount of calories that I need to hit on a daily basis. So that would be the third thing that I would do. Number 4, I'm going to find some sort of program to follow, whether that's from Couch to Fit, whether that's going on ChatGPT and having it make me some generic workout, or whether I'm going online and paying a trainer or something like that to create some sort of program. The reason I'm following a program, and I wouldn't do it any other way, is because otherwise I'm just throwing stuff against the wall. I don't want 4 months to go down the road and then I realize, oh, I'm off track. I'm never gonna hit my goal. If I'm following an actual program, I know from day one what that looks like, and I can break that down to every single week so I can track my progress. So if for some reason I'm not on track, I can fine tune, I can make any changes that I need, as opposed to I go 6 months, and in my head, I think I'm doing the right thing. Meanwhile, I'm off. Whether I'm off with my eating, whether I'm off with my workouts, whether it's my mindset that needed to be changed, I'm not tracking it. I would track everything I do. And again, a big part of this is finding a program that works for you. I see so many people when I go into the gym that they go to the gym, they're doing the workouts, but they look exactly the same. I'm talking about not people that have been going for like a couple weeks. I'm talking about people who have been going religiously for months and they still look the same. To me, I really can't think of anything more frustrating or that would aggravate me more than I'm putting in the work, but I'm not getting the results. Like, this is about, in 6 months, taking off 50 pounds. And it's not just about the 50 pounds. Like, what happens when you take off 50 pounds? How do you feel? How do you look? What does that do for your confidence? It's so much bigger than 50 pounds. So anyway, that's what I would do. I'd find some sort of program and then I would do that. So number 6, I would find other fit people and I would almost, what's a good word for this? I would almost become, what's a good word? Like, I would follow everything that they do. I would just mimic them. So, and the cool thing about, the time we're in now is these don't have to be people you actually know. I would try to find people I actually know, which you're probably gonna find these people at the gym, but I would find other fit people. And if you're one of these people, like you don't feel comfortable going up to someone, or I don't know, your ego's too big or whatever it is, that's fine. Go on social media. Go on social media and find other fit people, or find people that are, they're on the same journey as you. They're trying to get ripped, they're trying to lose weight, but they're a couple steps ahead of you and they've had success. You can do that, but just make sure they're on the right track, because otherwise you end up following some idiot who's off track. Now you're off track. So the best thing to honestly do is find somebody who already has the results, and then look at what they do. Look at their daily habits. Look at, not just when they get up, because I get up at 3 a.m. But to be honest, you don't have to get up at 3 a.m. You don't have to get up at 4 a.m. You don't have to get 5 a.m. You don't even have to get up early if you don't want to do that. But you do have to understand the logic behind getting up early. See, I get up at 3 a.m. not because it's 3 a.m. There's multiple reasons I get up, but one of the reasons I get up at 3 a.m. is just because it's hard. So if the very first thing I do when I get up is do something hard, it like preps me for the day. It prepares me for the day. It primes me for the day. Like, I'm already used to doing hard things. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why I choose to get up early. But again, it's not so much about doing exactly what they're doing, but understanding why they do what they do. What's the reason they're doing it? Because if you know the reason somebody does something, you're more likely to buy into the concept of doing it. So if I was to tell you, get up at 3 a.m., most people, they're like, I lost them as soon as I said 3 a.m. But if you understand the concept or you understand the reasoning why I do it, maybe it's not 3 a.m. that you get up at, but maybe at 5 a.m. it does the same thing for you, or maybe 6 a.m., whatever it might be. So I would become obsessed with looking for individuals that had the body that I want. And not just the body, that had the lifestyle that I want. Because there's people that I know that they look phenomenal. They look great. But I don't want to get results the way they got results. I have no interest in doing steroids. Like, I don't want to do steroids. I'm not against it. If they want to do that, that's fine. But I'm not doing that. There's also, there's a whole bunch of different diets out here I personally wouldn't do. I'm not doing a carnivore diet. I'm not doing some diet that allows me to eat 0 carbs. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Giving up carbs? I'm not doing that. I'm also not doing no crazy restrictive diet. Why? Because there's no need. You don't have to do those things. When I'm telling you, you can lose 50 pounds in the next 6 months, you don't have to do all that crazy stuff. That's just unnecessary. It's fine if it works for them, I guess, but I'm not going to do that. I don't subject my clients to doing that, so why would I do that? I'm just not going to do it. So these are the how many steps did I give you? These are the 6 steps that I would do if I had to lose 50 pounds in the next 6 months, and I wanted to make sure I hit it with certainty. So hopefully you guys got some value from the video, and I'll see you on the next one.